love riding into the mist like this with all the moss on the ground. It's just pretty to look around.
Hey guys, welcome back to Pisgah National Forest. Today, we're riding what I now consider one of the best short rides in the area that is often overlooked for those of us that aren't locals. We're in the Mills River area and we're going to ride two trails today, Trace Ridge and then Spencer Branch. Both of these start in the same intersection, so doing both involves climbing twice. Fortunately,
not that bad, not that big of a climb, to be honest. It's really manageable.
If you're looking for a quick ride, you can do only one of these. If you want more seat time, both can easily be done in a day. So far the only thing I really don't like about having the Hero 7 is that I have to climb with my chin bar on, so it's extremely hot, despite the fact that it's cold, right? It's like what, low 50s, high 40s? Yeah, and I'm sweating because of the chin bar. Of course, I could climb without the chin bar, but I like to get some of the climbing in the video as well. Anyways, this trail starts with a nice descent into an unexpectedly steep climb. But that's it. After that, it's all down. And when I say down, I mean down. If there's one way to put this trail into a single word, it's fast. With the right conditions or more skills, you can go much faster than we're going here. But no matter your skill level, it's going to be an absolute blast of a trail.
Rocky sections can get a little sketchy. Nice.
In hindsight, I did way too much line picking in this section. The rocks down the middle of the trail are perfectly fine to just bomb over and keep your speed up without any issues, so long as you can do 1 or 2 foot consecutive drops.
It's tight. That kicked me sideways.
As you can probably tell, this trail isn't massively technical. It's actually quite mellow for Pisgah standards, but that doesn't mean that it's boring. It has just the right amount of rocks sprinkled all over the place for it to be of fast-flowing nature, but still have a technical element to it to keep it interesting. If you're a newer rider looking into Pisgah, this should definitely be on your list, and if you're more of an intermediate advanced rider, this should be on your go fast list.
This bike absolutely rips. If you haven't ridden in really serious stuff for a while, you kind of forget. But then you bring it here, and it just eats up everything.
So yeah, the 4 days I spent riding in Pisgah made me fall in love all over again with my Jeffsy. When the rear triangle failed on me a couple months ago and I had a slow warranty experience, I was kinda bummed on the bike for a bit. But riding this terrain made me forget all of that. You could no doubt say that YT has work to do on the warranty side, but man are these bikes poppy, lively, and fun to ride. Over these 4 days we rode so much different stuff, and it held its own all throughout.
So after we got to the bottom of the first descent off Trace, we had the chance to keep on going to lower Trace, but there were some people there. We talked to them. They said it wasn't as good, that it was actually worth going up and doing Spencer instead. So yeah, let's go hit Spencer to see what that's like. So right after the intersection between Trace and Spencer, kind of take a right, and we have to climb a little bit more before we get to start going down on Spencer Gap. So it turns out that no, you're not supposed to go up from there because we made it to the Blue Ridge Parkway, not where we were trying to go. So we're gonna backtrack a bit and then try to jump into Spencer from there. This is steep. I know the video won't capture it, but it is crazy steep. As soon as you get on the rear brake, it starts to swing all over the place. This is still not Spencer. We're just backtracking on Trace Ridge to make it to the intersection where we think we're supposed to go. This is it. Oh, this looks nice. If it were dry, maybe I'd try that rock garden thing, but with wet rocks, I don't know. Nice. I was not expecting this at all.
Spencer Branch is quite different in nature than Trace Ridge, and a nice complement to it for a well-rounded ride. Overall, it's more windy and technical of a trail. You'll definitely be going slower on this and you'll encounter a lot more rocks. I'd probably say this trail is just a tad harder, but not by much.
That is chunky. Man, if it were dry, I could go so much faster. The berms here are pretty amazing. Like, they're not huge, but they're right there to give you enough support.
As you come to the end of Upper Spencer Branch, it starts to flatten out a little bit, but that's okay. It's a chance for it to be a little bit more windy and twisty and flowy. It feels a little bit like a small version of Ridgeline. Then you'll come into an intersection with a dirt road.
Oh man, he's
Awesome.
on a wet skinny. So it was Upper Spencer Branch, and now we're going into Spencer Gap. If I read the map correctly, this one was a little bit more up and down. Tree!
The rest of our ride back was more of an adventure ride than anything else. We didn't really get that much great riding done compared to everything that you already saw, but it was a blast to deal with all the craziness on the way back. There was a bunch of down trees and super deep creek crossings with a lot of punchy climbs and short steep descents in between.
Awesome.
That was unexpected.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, oh, that was deep. No, I'm not gonna go for it. I don't want to get my feet that wet.
Since we had seen another crossing, we decided to backtrack to it. Little did we know it was just as deep as the other one, but a bit wider, so I ended up getting my feet soaking wet anyways. The next creek crossing we got to had a strategically placed tree that we used to cross. I can't properly convey how challenging this was, despite how much you can see that we were going so slow on it. Surprisingly, no one fell into the water on this one. But the trail was not done with us.
That's gonna be a challenge.
In Lower Spencer Branch, we ran into this down tree on a narrow off-camber section. Getting over it involved hanging the bike off the side of the banking, and then hanging yourself off, to get over in the same way as best as you could with very little room to step on.
Holy
hard?
Yeah.
You're walking?
But for sure, the hardest one to cross was the super wide creek.
Oh, it's a big one.
Somebody had placed this tree, which was great, but it was the skinniest one yet. And to make things more complicated, the water was deep enough to pull the back of the bike away. At the same time, I was trying to keep the hub and the bottom bracket above water. In the end, we avoided the plunge, but it took each one of us a couple of minutes to cross over this one.
Sometimes part of the enjoyment of the ride is just walking and looking at stuff. So I have no idea what these falls are, but it's not really even a fall. It's like a step. It's still cool. Also, it's a man-made thing. They have like a dam. That's so cool. At this point, we're basically at the end of the trail. From what I saw, this leads out to the main road. And from there on out, it's fire road all the way back. Whew. That was amazing. That was a ton of fun. Definitely a bit more adventure on this one than just pure gnarly riding. The top was great and the bottom was just a ton of fun. Well guys, that's gonna be it for today. I will see you for the next one, and happy riding. The problems of mounting your camera to your helmet.